Coach, how do you
I think.
balance? Oh, go ahead,
Go ahead.
RC.
I know. I was going to say. I think a lot of the teams. It's one of the things when I look across the landscape of the country right now. That's the big thing that's happening. I don't think there is a lot of depth from the bench. I think that's one of the things I love about Providence is that they have scoring. They have. I mean, you have teams that guys hadn't given them 32 points all year from the bench in multiple games. I'd say they've taken them like 4 or 5 games, and they have a guy that can do it just in one game. There's so many teams that if we look at the better teams in this league, and it's something we'll look at as we get into the tournament is how good their actual bench is. I just think those guys that used to having that depth, they're sitting on someone else's roster right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a decent segue for me to another big game from Saturday, Kentucky over Alabama. And Kentucky is seeing some guys emerge off the bench right now. Damian Collins, for one. He only played 9 minutes, but 10 points, 6 rebounds in this game, making his presence felt. Guys, I was on After Dark Friday evening, and we played a little game of basically call it all facts or no facts. And one of the prompts was Kentucky at full strength is better than Auburn. And I said that that's facts. I said that I think this Kentucky team at full strength is the best team in the country right now. And I stand by that. But I guess you guys tell me how wrong I am, because I already had 2 people on the show tell me I was wrong on Friday. Is that nuts? Because I truly believe this team has the highest ceiling in the country when Ty Washington and Severe Wheeler are both on the court for 40 minutes.
You want to take it right now?
You go ahead.
Man, I think they're really good. I think they're complete. And I think when you go to Alabama, there was a stat they popped up on the TV last night. I won't know it exactly, but Alabama hadn't been held under 50 points in forever. And they only scored 55 points last night. When you go on the road and you only give up 55 points, man, you're doing something right, defensively. You're competing, you're scheming, your guys are flying around, they're playing extremely hard. But they've got a guy in the middle in Shibwe. They got point guard play with Ty and Severe. And then they got guys that can make shots with Grady, and Mintz, and a couple other guys that I think they're all in right now. And they're playing extremely, extremely well. The biggest question for me for Kentucky is, can they catch Auburn? Like, will Auburn slip up at all and give them a chance to tie and share for the SEC championship, which I don't know if Auburn will slip up twice.
They almost did, right?
Yeah. It's hard winning on the road, though. I mean, it's hard. I mean, they're the hunting now every game. And credit Georgia, man, for coming back off that Arkansas loss and competing that well. But I don't know if Kentucky can catch them.
They're right there. I mean, I won't argue and say you're crazy. I'll just understand it. Like I said, the only knock I've had all year against Kentucky is what are they going to do with that guard? How are they going to do? Are they, at one time we were saying they're better with Ty starting and Severe Wheeler not being there. And then it's, that whole, and now them being on the floor together, they're just dynamic duo. The only concerns that I have with them is just taking care of basketball, with Severe Wheeler. I think, again, he had 4 turnovers in this game, and Alabama's a tough game. I get it. I won't knock him for that. But his turnover rate concerns me. Their bench I like. I mean, they got guys that started for him. Davian Mintz started for him last year. Toppin played a ton of minutes. Collins plays a ton of minutes. So they got guys that, they can rotate. They're going to go at least 9 deep, and I don't think many teams can say that.
Yeah, they're absolutely better when Ty Washington is on the floor, whether that's starting, whether it's not. I mean, that's the guy to me. That's the guy to me who is the ceiling raiser for this team. All right, I want a pointed answer from you two. Let's say that Kentucky and Auburn get their wish, Oscar Tshiebwe's wish of these 2 teams meet again. Let's say they meet in the Final Four, neutral site in New Orleans. The Field of 68 will be there. Who wins that game? You got to pick one. I'm going Kentucky. Coach, who are you taking?
I'm still going Auburn. I'm still going Auburn right now, man. I'm really impressed watching Kentucky go to Alabama and handle them the way they did. And Kentucky obviously had the huge win against Tennessee and the huge win last week that they had. But, man, Auburn, they're going to be tested on the road. They're going to have some tight games. But the sign of a good team, the sign of character, all the intangibles, you go to Missouri and you figure out a way. You go to Georgia and you figure out a way. I'm staying with Auburn until they prove me wrong or somebody proves us wrong or prove me wrong.
I'm going with Auburn, and I got to ask you, as much as you like Ty Washington, do you like him better than Jabari?
I don't like him better than Jabari, but I think I like,
because you're talking about two talented guys, right? I mean,
it's two very talented guys. I like the puzzle pieces of Kentucky as a whole more than I like Auburn's. Like, I think as much as I love Wendell Green, do I trust Wendell Green 100% for 6 straight games? I don't know.
Do you trust Severe Wheeler?
I feel like,
who do you trust more in that matchup? Because every time I ask you,
it's pretty close.
Who do you trust more? Who do you trust? I'm asking you. Who do you trust?
I'll tell you the one trade I trust the most out of the two teams truly is Oscar Tshiebwe's motor and just how physical he is. I mean, he leads the country in offensive and defensive rebounds. Like, he, to me, is the force that makes Kentucky go. And then you just surround him with these shooters. You surround him with these dynamic guards who can each do a little bit of something else. Like, that to me is the recipe. Is that better than what Jabari Smith brings individually? No, of course not. But I think Auburn, to me, at least from what I've seen, Wendell Green, like, it's the Wendell Green show when the going gets tough. And that worked with a buzzer beater down the stretch, a pretty sloppy buzzer beater, but 6 games straight in March, that scares me a little more than what Kentucky has to offer.
I like them both. I just said that both of them are number 1 seeds. It's tomato here. We're kind of it's tomato. So it's making it look like I'm crushing Kentucky here, and I'm not. I got you as the number 1 seed.
The one thing, if you are concerned about Kentucky and the turnovers, man, Auburn, man, the way they compete, the way they pressure, the way they guard, you know, that's going to be hard to go against. And I don't think you can look at it. I know you got to win 6 games, but Bruce Pearl, I don't think he's thinking, hey, we got to win 6 games, man. He's just trying to win this game and then the next game, and then they reset. And so I think it's many weekends, you know, and it's going to add up to 6 at the end of the day. But it'll be a phenomenal rematch. I don't know. Auburn doesn't go to Kentucky, do they? I don't think they do.
No.
And so if the SEC tournament, I believe, is in Nashville, if they can meet for the SEC championship there, that'll be a lot of fun to watch. The thing about that is that'll be a Kentucky home game, because if you've ever been in the SEC tournament, whether it's in Atlanta, or it's in Memphis back when I was in school, or Nashville, man, Kentucky's coming hard, man, with the Go Big Blue chant.